folks. A sub of mine sent me this link to Jason Black's channel, The Business. And I think the video was called Why They Don't Talk to You. And Jason Black actually had this woman on that was on one of his previous shows, and I guess it was toward the end, so he brought her back on. And first he wanted her to show a picture of herself. You know, he blurred out the face and all, but he wanted to show a picture of her to make sure that she wasn't like overweight or old or ugly or anything like that. And she wasn't. She was a dark-skinned woman, about 29, 30 years old, and in shape, and, you know, from what I could tell, fairly good looking. And she was from Nigerian lineage. And basically, she was complaining what most black women, especially in California, complain about, is black men not dating dark-skinned women. And black men, especially in Northern California, dating light-skinned women and also dating out of their race, Asian, Hispanic, and black. And since she works in Silicon Valley, and a lot of guys that she worked with or were around were IT guys. And she, you know, she did her kowtow that the guys that she chases, the guys that qualifies her, is guys that are educated and make over $80,000 a year, probably even over $100,000 a year. And she came to the conclusion that she was prejudiced against because she was dark-skinned. You know, same old dark-skin activism, dark-skin woe is me. Nobody, black men don't want dark-skinned women, which they spent the whole show trying to convince her that it wasn't true. And we spent years and years and years trying to convince dark-skinned women that what they already know is that black men do date or dark-skinned women and marry dark-skinned women and have children by dark-skinned women. Otherwise, dark-skinned women wouldn't have babies. They couldn't produce more dark-skinned people. And black women never talk about the light-skinned guys that are always on their arm. But that's another video. So I want to, just for this instance, for this video, for this particular piece, I want to play Black Pill. I want to play the Black Pill's advocate. Not the devil's advocate, but the Black Pill's advocate. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Cue the music. Now, I'm going to take it for granted that everything that she said in that piece was true. That black men, especially in California, do not like, do not date, and do not want dark-skinned women. And according to her, dark-skinned women are at the bottom of the totem pole. I'm going to take that at face value, that she is 100% accurate. I'm going to give her that. I'm not even going to argue the point. We have been arguing the point for years. Today, we're going to give her that. My dear, you are 100% correct. And you have been prejudiced against. You are not preferred guy for black men to date. Black men will always prefer lighter skinned women or women of another color, another group. We're going to give you that today. And you know what my answer to that is? My rebuttal to that accusation that black women are not wanted, dark skinned women are not wanted. So what? So what? Say you are 100% correct. And everything that you say about black men not wanting dark-skinned women is correct. So what? Get over it, Cupcake. I'm going to say it right here and now. We are not running an affirmative action program for dark-skinned women, especially when it comes to dating and mating. You have to play your hand just like every other black man in this country has to play his hand. I don't know any black man that will walk in the face of the United States that actually went into the lotto line and said, I'm going to choose to be a black man when I incarnate. Especially some of the guys walking around here that are 5'3", 250 pounds, chocolate with nappy hair, and overly negroid features. You know, the kind that you don't even notice, the kinds that got pimples all over his face, those kind of guys. Okay? Those are the hands that were dealt to those guys. The guys that are 5'4", the guys that are skinny, that weigh 110 pounds, the guys with squeaky voices, the guys with nappy hair, the guys that are broke, the guys with bad parents, or the white women that are not wanted by their own kind, that have the huge legs and a huge butt and are fat, or that way too white and have stringy hair, that are not the Coke bottle type or the supermodel type. Those people, okay? Black women are not discriminated against when they get hired, when they go to school, when they pay their bills, when they go to buy a house, when they go to get a loan. If you can prove to me that dark-skinned women are discriminated against in those instances, then we got an issue. That is social discrimination, federal discrimination that is illegal. That is illegal. But it's not illegal for a black man to not want you on the way that you look. He has every right to pick the type of woman that he wants, the type of woman with what he wants them to look like, her hair, her eyes, her clothes, if he can get her. If he can't get her, nobody's running an affirmative action plan for him either. He has to find his own level and take what is there, or not take what is there. It's entirely up to him. Same thing it is with you. You want those intelligent guys making six figures that do want the AKA type, which are the ones that most women complain about. Most dark-skinned women are not complaining about the dudes that are making $50,000 a year. They're complaining about the dudes that are making $100,000 a year and above. That drive the hot cars. That live in the big houses. That wear the nice clothes. That have the degrees and have the status. Those are the ones that they always complain about. And when you discriminate against the guys making under $50,000 a year, guess what? We're not running an affirmative action plan for those guys to get the women that they want. And we can't take the upper class guys to federal court because they didn't choose to date or marry a woman that's dark skinned. There is no affirmative action plan for dark skinned women, not in dating and mating. Let me say it again. There is no affirmative action plan for dark skinned women. Black men do not owe you their loyalty. Just like you always tell us that you don't owe us your loyalty or your respect, because you always say that a black man has to earn his respect from you. Guess what? Guess what, Cupcake? The swinging door swings both ways, in and out. You got to earn it too. You have no right to demand the kind of man that you want. You don't. Can't go to the Supreme Court and tell the Supreme Court judge that, hey, that black man over there that should be marrying me is not marrying me. He's not preferring me because I'm dark skinned. Judge is gonna look at you and say, so what? Compete, Cupcake. And the other thing I don't like, every time this comes up and is on some of these quasi pro-black channels, if a black man does marry outside his race or does marry an other, they always attack his character. He's a male, he's not a man. He couldn't get any better. He had to go to a lower tier white woman. He had to go to a woman that's rejected by her group, or had to marry or date an outcast of her group because he's such a low tier person, a low tier man, which is something I don't understand. Because he wouldn't marry her or marry a group of women, they chose a different group of women. All of a sudden, he's persona non grata. He's not a man. He's not worthy. He's not a real person. He's self-hated. All these narratives. Because he didn't make a choice to choose you. So if he did choose you, all of a sudden he become a man. He become worthwhile. He become a man worthy of respect. Sometimes the gynocracy goes overboard. They talk about equity and fairness and justice, but always equity, fairness, and justice when it comes to them. Justice and fairness and equality for thee, but not for me. Get off of it, Cupcake. Pull up, put on your big girl panties, grab your ovaries, and compete. And let the chips fall where they may. Don't get mad at black men because they didn't choose you. Don't get mad at black men because you're dark skinned. If you want to curse somebody else, curse out God, but you're not going to do that. Because God's going to tell you the same thing I'm going to tell you. Get off your ass and go compete. And be the best person that you can, the best person that you can be. Because there's plenty of ugly ass Asians that get wiped up all the time. And it ain't because of the way they look. It's because their attitude, their willingness to cooperate and be compliant, and willing to do the work with their husbands, their children, and their households. I've seen some very ugly ass Asians get married to billionaires. And it ain't because of the way they look. Stop trying to blame your lack of success on the way you look and start working on your personality, your maturity, and your abilities. Try becoming a wife for a change. Anyway, that's all I got. This is real short. This is BGS out, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.